Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Youth mental health brought hundreds of students together under one roof to hear inspiring stories. It was all part of the Youth Matter Canada Mental Health Symposium in Melfort. The students aged 11 and older heard from speakers including Kyla Thompson, whose late daughter became an internet sensation as she documented her health challenges. Thompson shared Bella's story of bravery and resilience. The founder of the symposium says she created the day to inspire youth.
We just really hope that the youth feel a sense of community and connection, and that they're inspired to just take one action to help support their mental wellness and to always remember that they matter.
This was the 5th symposium held by Youth Matter Canada. The provincial NDP is concerned that the Saskatchewan Party may privatize Sask Power. It points to a recent government report called Saskatchewan First Energy Security Strategy and Supply Plan. The report calls for a governance review to mandate nuclear power ownership. The opposition says that's a code phrase for privatizing Sask Power.
We know Conservative governments in Saskatchewan have been flirting with the idea of selling off Sask Power since the 80s. It was a bad idea then. It's a terrible idea now. Energy security in Saskatchewan is job security for people here. It's critical for our economic future.
Premier Moe says Sask Power will not be privatized. He says no decision has been made on whether small modular reactors in the province could be owned by the Crown Corporation or a private supplier. The Saskatchewan government is giving new powers to the Safer Communities and Neighbourhoods Unit to identify and address abandoned or nuisance properties. Effective November 1st, changes will allow the unit to target properties deemed unfit for people to live in and negatively impact the health, safety, or economic well-being of the broader community. SCAN can then apply for either a court-ordered demolition or a forfeiture to seize the property prior to demolition. Graffiti and trafficking of stolen property also being added to the list of issues SCAN can address as part of its duty to respond to illegal activities in buildings. Data from the Saskatoon Fire Department shows homeless encampments have been reported in every neighborhood in the city this year. On Tuesday, the Saskatoon Fire Department says crews cleared out reported encampments on both the east and west sides of the city, including one near Avenue M South and 20th Street. But 2 days later, tents were set up in that same area. The fire department says encampments pose health and safety risks. It adds there are more than 200 more encampments compared to last year.
Some of the challenges are that people are just looking for places to go, looking for places to stay. Some aren't able to access the support they need.
Bradley says the city's focused on finding solutions through warming centers and drop-in centers. One more day and then a whole bunch of exciting sports going on. So what do we have, Jeff, for weather today?
Well, right now the weather is, hey, we still have some exciting sports tonight too, but I know what you're talking about starting tomorrow and then of course on Saturday, World Series. But we have got some interesting situations where the easternmost parts of Canada and the westernmost parts of Canada are in for some soggy conditions, and we're talking about the far Avalon Peninsula and of course Vancouver Island and the North Coast. But in between, particularly across the prairies, a lot of this warm air is coming across. There's windy conditions in BC, and that warm wind is coming across the Rockies, and we are going to reap the benefits of that. More on those numbers.
Development in a murder trial. A key Crown witness testified it's possible the gun may have been fired by the victim herself. Saskatchewan's chief forensic pathologist, Dr. Sean Latham, took the stand on the 4th day of Andrew Rosenfeld's second-degree murder trial. Rosenfeld is accused of killing his girlfriend, Nakira Brown, who was found dead on November 15th, 2022, inside the apartment they shared on Avenue P South. Latham testified the bullet that killed Brown was fired very close, less than a centimeter from her head. Latham testified it's certainly possible Brown fired the gun, adding that the wound could be classified as self-inflicted. A new deal to finalize the operator of Saskatoon's upcoming convention centre and arena is in the hands of city councillors. After striking a deal last year, city administration reworked the deal with Oakview Group, a private company that manages hundreds of venues across the continent. The deal was put on pause in the wake of U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff threats earlier this year. Now there's less money up front, less years of initial commitment, but less risk to the city. And Mayor Cynthia Block says the deal presents a big opportunity if council is ready to take that step.
Is this the deal that we are going to take so that when we go to other orders of government to attract more investment, that we can show that there's a solid private partner as well?
Council will vote on the deal during next week's council meeting. Following a recent announcement about nuclear technology earlier this week, Saskatchewan Polytechnic is launching a new training centre for workers in the nuclear sector. The Western Canadian Nuclear Training Centre launched during a nuclear workforce training and supply chain event. The new centre is meant to deliver nuclear-specific training to grow the workforce for small modular reactors and other nuclear technologies. Sask Poly President and CEO Larry Roja says of the workplace that's going to be required, there are skills for nuclear and nuclear skills.
Nuclear skills is about 10% of the workforce, but skills for nuclear is about 90% of the workforce, and that's where Saskatchewan Polytechnic comes in. That's our mandate, is to develop the skills that industry needs in this province to be successful. So when you look at nuclear, civil engineering technology, welders, electricians, instrumentation people, power engineering people, those are the skills that we teach now.
Roja says one course is being offered in December, and there's already a wait list for the second offering. A new hub at the University of Saskatchewan hopes to unite the efforts of entrepreneurs on campus. A gift from alumni Bernie Slogotsky and Fedra Hunt, the new center will support student ventures, faculty innovation, and community partnerships. It's also meant to strengthen the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the province by creating connections across Canada and around the world. The $5 million gift will help with programming and staff at the new center, which will be located in the Edwards School of Business.
This center represents access to innovation, to collaboration, and mentorship that turns ideas into action. It creates a space where students can take what we learn in the classroom and apply it in ways that make a lasting difference. As a student and cooperator of Robertson Valley Farm, I've seen firsthand how entrepreneurship blends with creativity and responsibility. Running a seasonal agriculture business with my partner has taught me that success isn't measured only by profit, but by purpose.
The university says programming at the center will help students, faculty, and researchers speed up their ideas from concept to impact. After the break, a night of comedy, music, and improv. We find out about the second annual Variety Night for Mental Health.
The second annual Variety Night for Mental Health is coming up. If you were to just kind of give a little teaser on what that's about, what would you say?
Yeah, for sure. So it's a great night happening this Saturday, the 25th. And we've got a lot of live music happening. We've got some stand-up comedy happening. And then we've got some improv as well. So lots of stuff going on.
How many performers are you going to have?
So for music, we've got music by two solo artists. So Kaylee Skamarowski, she's a local musician in town. Kim Cusack, so she's a soloist. And then our band, The Socially Distanced, going to be playing. And then another band called Lost and Found. So those four groups. And then as well, we've got stand-up comedy by Elliot Byers. And then we've got improv comedy by Off the Cuff.
You said your band is called The Socially Distant. Did you guys get together over COVID or just rename yourselves?
Yeah, we got together over COVID and it just kind of stuck. We've been too lazy to rename ourselves.
Is it all going to be local talent or are people traveling in from out of town?
It's all local talent, all people in PA that just, so we kind of put the feeler out there for people that were maybe interested in performing. And yeah, we got some good responses back and it's just a good way to just get together and have a really good time.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on the for mental health part?
Yeah, for sure. So we, a couple of years ago, we partnered with an organization out of Saskatoon called Love My Mind, and they're a nonprofit that really supports, that has really done a lot of work as far as like promoting just loving ourselves, loving who we are. So we were able to partner with them, and they've been fantastic in selling their merchandise, and so that they can help a lot of people.
Where did the idea to get this awareness raising for mental health come from? I'm sure there were a lot of different, causes that you could have done a variety night for. So why mental health?
I think probably, so the idea came up just with the three of us that are putting it on, myself, Adriana Garrow, and Elliot Byers, just having some conversations. We're all kind of have our niche things that we like to do with the arts, and we kind of said, well, why don't we try doing this and putting it together? And that's sort of where it started. And yeah, the last time we did it last year was a full sellout, so we're really excited to do this again.
You say a full sellout. How many tickets was that?
So we'll be selling around 100 tickets. So if you've been in Rock Trout, it's going to be pretty packed in there, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
If people want to find out more information or figure out how to buy tickets, how can they do that?
Oh, for sure. Okay, so if you go onto Eventbrite, tickets are available on Eventbrite, so just look up the event. Also check out our website at littlebirdie.ca, and you can also like us on Facebook.
Do you and the other organizers have any other events coming up in the next 1 or 2 months?
I'm not sure we do, but nothing that we can talk about right now.
All right, top secret?
It's very top secret. Very top secret.
All right, well, let me know when it's not top secret and we can do another interview.
I would love that.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you for meeting me out here on the brightest day of the year.
It is a bright day.
And I'm not going to say good luck, but break a leg at Variety Night.
Thank you very much.
After the break, Jeff has your weather forecast. And with the World Series on the line, what weird superstitions do loyal Blue Jays fans use for extra luck? So, Jeff, you probably thought I was talking about those blue birdies going on this weekend, but there's tons going on in Prince Albert this weekend. You got provincials for volleyball, provincials for soccer. You got the Raiders hosting the Swift Current Broncos. What kind of weather are we talking this week?
We're looking at some really nice weather. So, as I've said before, you can't blame the weather for keeping you away from taking in some of these events, because the weather is going to be pretty darn pleasant. Temperatures way above seasonal. We can thank a lot of this warm air that's smashing, warm air, moist, windy conditions in BC. We will reap the benefits of all of that, because this is a couple of different scenarios are soaring up, and so two different waves, one initially and then another one, more of an atmospheric river that's really going to impact Northern California and the Pacific Northwest, but it's still going to hammer parts of British Columbia. And that once that moisture gets scrubbed out, the wind and the warm air comes across, and la-di-da, we're sitting pretty. So let's take a look and see what we've got going on in the Futurecast. So you can certainly see all that active weather out in BC, and these pressure lines relatively close together, and then they start to gap up a little bit, so not as windy, but certainly windy in BC, and then things calm down for the prairies, but hardly anything in way of precipitation on our computer modeling, so not bad. Here we go. -2 degrees overnight in Spiritwood, -1 in the Battlefords, -2 in Candle Lake, -3 for Birch Hills overnight tonight, -4 for Rostern, and -1 in Nipawin and Melfort, and in most locations we're dealing with clear skies or just a few clouds. So if there was northern lights to talk about, we could talk about good conditions, but I don't think there are right now. 13 degrees in Spiritwood for a daytime high on Friday, 16 for the Battlefords. I know, that's over 7 degrees warmer than seasonal. 12 degrees for Candle Lake, 13 for Birch Hills. Rostern, some morning fog, but then cloudy skies and 14 degrees for a high. Nipawin sitting pretty at 12 degrees in Melfort, 13 degrees. So really warm temperatures for the latter part of October for the Prince Albert region. Now, for Prince Albert in particular, we've got ourselves clear skies tonight, -3 degrees, winds from the east at 10 kilometers an hour. And then as we roll into Friday, what a way to start the weekend. 13 degrees for a high, mainly cloudy conditions, and the winds don't pick up all that much. In fact, the wind direction just changes, so winds out of the south at 10, so light winds. And as we take a look at Saturday, 18 degrees. I know. It won't be a record breaker, but it's still pretty darn warm. Sunday, well, it's still double-digit temperatures, but it does come with a 50% chance of some showers. And starting off the work week, 8 degrees, 9 on Tuesday, Wednesday mainly cloudy, and 11 and 9 on Thursday. And keep in mind, even when we're into those single digits, John, those temperatures are at or above seasonal values. So pretty nice looking forecast.
And if you are out on that soccer field, I wonder now, would the ground be frozen this late into October, or maybe is
what am I, a geologist?
Might be the sweet spot, because if you go down hard, that was always the nice thing in the summer. It's just soft.
That's true.
grass.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, let's go back to baseball, Jeff, because wearing the same clothing, eating the same food, many Blue Jay fans are getting ready for the World Series in their own unique ways. Raheem Ladani has more on the superstitions they're hoping will bring the team good luck.
Inside this Kensington Market bakery, there's one flavor you could say is good luck.
Coconut cream pie.
That's Wanda Beaver. She and her husband David own Wanda's Pie in the Sky. During the World Series in 1993, coconut cream pie was Joe Carter's favorite, and he was craving a slice to be delivered before the historic Game 6.
He was sitting there with a couple of other fellows, and he said, well, how much do you want for that? And I go, tell you what, make you a deal, Joe. You can have the pie for free. You just have to return the pie plate when you're done with the pie, after you win the World Series, I said. And he goes, sounds like a deal.
And we all know what happened next.
It's the pie that won the World Series. That's what we used to call, we still call it. Now we're getting people coming in and they go, I heard your stories. I want a coconut cream pie. Is the magic? The magic is still there. And every time that happens, they win.
As the 2025 Blue Jays gear up for their first World Series appearance in more than 3 decades, a lot of fans have their own superstitions they'll be following.
I've had 3 beers each game that they've won, so 3 beers consistently.
Same jersey, same hat. Around the 7th inning, just before it started, rally cap on.
While everyone has their own game day ritual for the World Series, it might have been Vladimir Guerrero Jr. himself who broke Toronto's Game 7 playoff curse. Vladdy walked into the ballpark ahead of the Jays' deciding game against the Seattle Mariners wearing an Austin Matthews Maple Leafs jersey. Anxious fans feared the fashion choice, as the Leafs have lost all 3 Game 7s they've played in the Matthews era. But Guerrero went on to win the ALCS MVP, and the Jays punched their ticket to the World Series.
Everyone in here is rooting for the Jays right now, obviously, so it's I'm sure it's the same thing when they're coming to our games, but for him to show some love and respect to Austin is obviously well-deserved. It's great to see from Vladdy.
Back at Wanda's, they say if any Jays player is looking for dessert ahead of this World Series,
Joe Carter had a good idea, and it worked for him. Maybe it can work for you, too.
Yeah. One slice may lead to the sweetest win of all. Raheem Ladani, CTV News.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
For decades, menopause was an unspoken topic in families, but health practitioners want that to change. Pauline Chan has the details of a new guideline developed in Ontario.
47-year-old Pinder Baines has been in perimenopause for a couple of years now with various symptoms.
I had a neurologist for headaches because I had unexplained headaches. I also had gynecological issues where I had abnormal bleeding, and at the same time, like hot flashes, brain fog, trouble concentrating.
And she says no one really prepared her for this stage in life.
Unfortunately, like in our family, nobody really talked about it.
That's why Dr. Ileana Lega says the guidelines developed by Ontario Health are so important.
So knowing how to recognize perimenopause and menopause is really key to getting the ball started on eventually treatment. There's a lot of misinformation about safety around hormone therapy, and so the guidelines really help summarize who is a good candidate for hormone therapy, how to start it, and how to maintain someone on it.
Dr. Lega says as the body changes, so do a woman's health risks.
There are many changes beyond symptoms that need to be addressed. It's a time of cardiovascular cardiovascular risk factor acceleration, meaning blood pressure starts creeping up.
Menopause is also associated with problems like losing bone density, diabetes, high cholesterol, and muscle loss.
I did have various different treatments that I was getting until I was able to see Dr. Lega and was put on HRT, and I can tell you that it's helped tremendously.
Dr. Lega says hormone replacement therapy is safe for the vast majority of women like Pinder, helping with hot flashes and night sweats.
It has benefits beyond that. It's very effective as a bone protecting agent. It can help with sleep. It can help to a certain extent with some joint pains and sometimes with some mood issues.
She says those perimenopausal years in your mid-40s to 50 are a good time to rethink your lifestyle, diet, alcohol intake, smoking, sleep habits, and especially exercise.
Anything you do where you move your body is very important. Ideally, there should be a strength training component as well, so muscle building.
Baines shares her information on menopause openly with her friends.
Every woman is going to be different. Every woman will have different type of symptoms, but I think within my generation and that we're going through this together.
And for more information, you can check with the Menopause Foundation of Canada or the Canadian Menopause Society. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
Well, Jeff, apparently this was the talk of the town. The Foo Fighters are coming to Regina next year.
What? We didn't see that coming.
There you go. Regina is going to be one of 4 Canadian stops on the Foo Fighters Stadium Tour. Queens of the Stone Age are going to be the openers. It's scheduled for September 15th of next year, the first concert in the stadium since Garth Brooks in 2019. Reel says this show is a part of an approach to bring more live entertainment to the stadium and to the Brandt Centre.
It's a unique balance between all the activities in the Mosaic Stadium, between the riders, the community events, live entertainment, that we find the right slot for major acts to work in. You know, as a major act would consume probably a week to 2 weeks worth of facility usage space. Overall goal, fewer dark days at Reel, and this is a good indication of where we're going.
There you go, Jeff. Tickets go on sale October 31st. It could go up to $300 for a ticket. Are you going to be there?
Maybe.
Good stuff. There's a good band, that's for sure. One I recognize.
Yeah, there you go.